Hello, and welcome to your new Drupal website basic training. In today's segment, we're going to talk a little bit about menus and how to manage them. So, first things first, in creating a brand new menu for a brand new piece of content, you can actually do that from the piece of content that you're creating. So I'll go ahead and use a basic page for this instance. And for the title, we will call this page default. So I'm not going to put in any of the basic information since we're mostly just talking about menus. So let's assume that I had filled out everything and my page is just about ready to go live onto the website. Now, if I want to make a menu for this and there is no menu existing, then the first thing I want to do is come over here to menu settings. By default, it looks like it's going to say not in a menu. So you want to check this box to give it a menu link, and then it's going to give you some options. So by default, it's going to take whatever you put in the title, and it's going to make that the menu link title. But if you want to change that, you can simply put your cursor in there and change the menu link title. And the next field down is the parent item, and this is actually where you'll choose where the menu is going to live on the site and the menus. So by default, it's going to default to main menu, which means it's just going to sit on the same line as all of our other stuff. So all of these are what's considered the main menu. So if I want to add it there, I'll just leave it as main menu. The weight doesn't need to be adjusted, and these menu link attributes are only for advanced users who know CSS and HTML. So for the most part, you can skip all those, but you might want to set the target to be new window blank if you want it to open in a new tab. In this case, we'll just leave it as none. So once I've got my new title, my menu link, and on the main menu parent item, we'll go ahead and save the page and see what that looks like. So now that I've saved the page, we'll go to the home page, and there's our new menu item, which should take us to our default page. Now if I want to take this and I want to put this menu under the about section so it drops down with these other two, then there's a couple of ways to do that. So I can go right back into the page that I created, click edit, and scroll down, and I can go back to menu, and I can go to parent item, and I can set about as the parent item, meaning that it will live under or with about. So if we do that, we come back down, we hit save. Then when we go to the home page, we should no longer see that not default menu item, but if I mouse over about and drop down, there's our not default menu item. So that's how you can adjust it from the actual page itself. Let's say that there is no menu link for this page. So now if I go to the home page and I look under about, still nothing there. This goes to an article from earlier, but essentially the menu item is now gone. So if we want to create a new menu item for an existing page and you don't want to go through the content like we did before, then you can use this manage menus option. So if we click that, it's going to come up, and on this first part, it'll give you a bunch of different menus that you can access, and you can add new menu. And actually this is a little confusing because if you add a new menu here, it's actually just going to create another one in this list, which won't actually do anything for you. So the only two things you'll actually need from this list will be this main menu and secondary menu. So you'll never actually add menu from this screen. From here, you'll choose main menu or secondary, depending on which one you want to access. And then you'll choose list links. So we're going to do the main menu first, and we'll click list links. And this shows us all of the menus that are currently on the site. And the ones with the drop down in the far left are the ones that are on our main menu here. So you can move things around simply by clicking and dragging. So right now, events and testimonials are a child or children of the About menu. But if I wanted them to have their own slot on the main menu, then I can simply drag it over. And now if we save and we go to the home page, we've got everything on its own, and now About has no drop down. So if we want to fix that and then readjust it, we can go right back up here to Manage Menu, Main Menu, List Links, and then we can go under About and simply move these over one section to the right and then Save Configuration. So it'll tell you it's been saved, and that you can tell from looking by which ones are children again of the parents. So that's how you move them around, but in the case of our default page, we don't have a link at all. So what we need to do then is add the link. And this will come up and it'll ask you for the menu link title. So before, when I did this, I changed the title to not default, so we'll leave that again. But the path, which is just whatever comes after the .com, is going to be /default, since we didn't actually change the URL alias. And you want to make sure that your menu is enabled. Show as expanded should always be left unchecked. And then here you can choose the parent link again if you want, but usually I'll just leave it as main menu and then not adjust any of the rest of this and hit save, because that will, I guess you don't need a slash there. That will take you back out here, in which case you can just drag and drop rather than trying to figure out which, parent you want this child to live under. So we'll go ahead and make this again part of the About menu, not default. Save configuration. Go back out to the home page, and now under About, we should have our not default menu. Awesome. So the only other menu, and we actually don't have any listed, it will be the secondary menu, which usually appears here, right where my mouse is. So let's go into Manage Menus and see if we can set one of those up. So this time, instead of main menu, we'll go down here to secondary menu and list links. And right now there aren't any, so we'll go ahead and add a link. And we will call this one Facebook, as this spot is a real good spot for social media. They seem to fit really well up in there. And the parent link is the secondary menu, which is fine, so we don't need to adjust any of the rest of this stuff, except we do want to have this open in a new window since it's going off our site. And then we'll hit save. And let's try that. Might need to have the full URL in there. Looks like that was the trick. So now it's been saved. Our menu is showing up there. Let's go to the home page and see if we can see it. Awesome. So now we have Facebook, and if we click on that, it should open and take us right to Facebook. The last thing you can do from this Manage Menu section is you can easily remove or delete links. So if we list links, you can come in here. And actually, if you want to have the link, you just don't want to use it right now, you can just uncheck the enabled and hit save. And then when we go to the home page, it's not showing there anymore. But if you go into Manage Menus, secondary menu, list links, it's still showing there, just disabled. So if you want it to show again, you just hit enabled, save configuration, and it should now be back. Just like that. The other thing you can do, if you don't want it at all, then you can just go in list links and you can just delete it and remove it entirely. And that concludes this basic training on how to manage the menus. Thanks for watching and have a great day.